All right, welcome back. We are here on Santiago fishing at Bear. We're at 5563, and we're going to be casting 22 clip right here in this direction. The other thing I've done is I've gotten a West Hill Power Cat, which will toss out some ground bait. Use your mouse wheel, you can scroll to specific distances. So we're going to be using carp ground bait because I cannot make grass carp yet. And we've set it to exactly 22 meters. So similar to like if you're setting a clip, so just kind of wherever you want to cast it, you can go ahead and do a full cast because it's going to hopefully actually go the distance that you're asking it to. And you can see it's not like going the exact same direction every time, but it should be going to the right distance. We're going to go ahead and do 7 of them there. This is a black currant spot right now. Black currant's one of the baits, at least, that works pretty well for people. But since we don't have PVA or method or spot even, we are going to do our best. Now, I'm also putting a small hook with pearl barley in. And this has the same ground bait, carp ground bait that we just threw in with the Power Cat. So we shall see. Now, third rod, this is our stronger upgraded caliber HSV, up to 22.6 on our line. We're actually going to throw in size 20 pop-up with corn. Now, this might be just too slow without PVA or spot, but we're going to try it for a little while and see if we can at least find one really big grass carp or something to fight on our caliber HSV. So from what I've heard, it's can be pretty slow during the day, but hopefully we'll catch stuff on this middle rod, which I probably won't show you every fish we catch on this middle rod. This is just our method of going through some ground bait to keep this spot fed and hopefully figure out how to get get a carp or two out of this trip to Bear. So that's what I'm hoping for. I will certainly let you see the fish we bring in, especially on the carp rods here for a little while, and we'll see how slow the day is, and if we at least do some decent fish, then we'll maybe make it tonight and see how night goes. But we also have 15 size blackcurrant boilies. If it's just too slow, I might try the 15. And if it seems like it's better with just corn, then we can do that. You can see we're already, I think, getting a nibble on the corn. So let me keep you here long enough to see if this turns into a bite here. All right. I'm assuming the friction brake's just really low. That's probably why it sounds like that. Hey, we just got points in bottom fish on that undersized bream. I like it. We just had a very, very low friction brake there. All right, so this is not anything big, but it was nice that we got a bite that quickly. Hopefully that keeps going, keeps it up. And that is a grass carp. That is what I'm expecting for us to see here. 74.6, gotta love that. We'll see how it goes from here. I think we have a fish on. Yeah, once again the corn. Whoa, this fish swam right towards us. The one thing we've got to think about and sort of consider in all this, with how good a bite rate the corn is, would we rather just have both rods on corn? Again, I'm going to try to wait and see what we catch. First fish we catch on the third rod, but I like having an active bite rate. I switched to worm. I was trying to get away from just catching undersized bream, but maybe we can't. Hey, we got a little common carp. By the way, you just want to come fish in this spot with smaller setups. It doesn't seem to matter what I put in there. Bloodworm, worm, pearl barley. I think the list will just go on and on. Small hooks and whatever I put in there, we're catching, you know, lots of little fish. You're probably not going to make much silver unless you get dialed in on something, but it looks like that bite might actually pop off too. Okay, well, we have a runner on even with the friction brake. At a little more decent spot. Well, actually, I think I still had it turned down a little. We probably ought to keep it on about 25. That way we can get a feel for it as we're picking it up. But yeah, this will just be another. So this is cool. I mean, we're getting to see some pretty good frequency of bites here. We still have 0 fish on the third rig. So basically, we're fishing with 1 rig here. Not counting the nonsense that's going on the middle rod there, but again, I'm gonna try to be patient, but I'm guaranteed we'll probably first switch it to 15 corn and then eventually just you know, corn only. If this is another tiny bream, I don't know. Like we've seen a lot of we've thrown a lot of ground bait in with the incredible bite rate we've had on this middle third rod, or this middle rod. Ooh, the common got a little bigger. That's cool. Oh yeah, we finally put sweet dough on the middle rod. Are we still catching weird stuff? Baby crucian. Okay. At least it took a little longer to catch something on the third rod that time, or the middle rod. I mean, especially if you already have your third set up, which you know, we're getting there. I already have the reel, we just need a third rod. If you already have your third set up, for sure, even without PVA or spod, for sure come fish this with blackcurrant corn. I mean, look at this. This is all on 1 rod. We are using large 1 hooks, by the way. I think people with PVA are really going for trophies here right now. That's how healthy this spot seems to be at the moment, and folks are using really big hooks, all the way up to like 2.0, maybe even bigger. But we're just using large 1 hooks because obviously we don't have the magic of PVA currently. This is weird. All three rods are showing some nibble activity, but oh, I didn't notice. We've got reduced temps right now. Huh. I wonder how much variation in temperature there's been. There's been a little bit of talk about this spot lately, and I wonder how dependent on the temperature changes that has been. At least on what I was looking at, I didn't see anything indicating the weather. First non, I guess, grass or common carp we've seen. I mean, I don't know what this probably just, I guess it's a gibble or a cruciate. I mean, it's something that's just been nibbling for ages. Look at that. That is awesome. That is the very reason why I put sweet dough in there, but I had no idea it would pay off. That's really cool. All right, I think we have our first fish. Yeah, we do. On the boilies. And you hear that. Now, remember, that's the first fish we've caught on that rig, so it's probably got the friction brake way down, because the last thing I was doing with that rig was fishing for bream. Just like the friction brake was really low on the first rod in the beginning as well. Okay, so first fish is not that big. Certainly not worth that long of a wait compared to how many fish we've caught on the first rig in this same period of time. Is that a mirror though? I mean, that does not look like a common or a grass carp. Yeah, it's a mirror. No, it's a leather. Wow. Okay, well, there's no reason why that shouldn't be possible on a smaller boilie as well. So now we're going to try 15 with the corn instead of the 20 with the corn. Of course, the other thing to try would be 15 and 20 boilies together. Take the corn off. I don't know how much experimenting we'll do if it's going to be that slow a bite rate, though, because eventually we should just put corn on both of them and actually catch a few fish, but we'll see. Okay, at least that's a marker size. Barely. Barely. All right, there's a fish on line 1. Nice fish getting caught in chat. Love to see the trophy F1. That's awesome. Okay, this is cool. Uh-oh. Bound to happen, right? How big of a hook did we go up to? 16? We have plenty of line on this reel. I mean, we're not going to get spooled. The question is, does it pop off, or, you know, how patient can I be with the fish? I guess there's no reason in putting it in the red and damaging, especially since this is an upgraded Lacerti. It does take some damage. Okay. So that was a lot quicker. Although this is a very small fish. Do we keep it on there or do we just switch to corn? I guess we'll keep it on there one more time. Alright, let's see if we have any sway at all on this fish right now. Nah. Kind of doing whatever it wants still. So it's just going to be a small, probably grass carp or something like that. It may eventually get tired enough that it comes in. What's our risky catch right now? A 15 mirror carp on mosquito. Oh yeah, that was probably a nightmare, wasn't it? I could be wrong, but I don't think this fish is that big. Alright, this fish is getting a little tired. We may actually drag it in and see what else we've got on real quick. Alright, here it comes. Looks like a common carp, right? Yes, indeed. All right. Is something else really small? Ow. So maybe it's better just to have the corn on. I don't know what to do with this. What if we try garlic dough? I mean, that can still catch the carp, but I'm just curious if bream here are how very active they are and if they are enjoying garlic dough right now. That should warn us, shouldn't it? Should take that as a warning more than anything. Common. Yeah, lots of commons here. It's nice. Yeah, we're getting some nice XP. Not saying we're like taking a ton of silver, but we're getting some nice XP. Now I like this. Go at nighttime, having worm on there so we can catch some rough. In fact, I could even see going smaller hook and really trying to target the rough at night. That's nice and safe. That makes good sense. That was almost an immediate bite on this rod. I put it in and the fish was on it almost immediately. Yeah, commons are really dominating all of a sudden. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see at the end of this. Not often that I like target or catch a lot of common carp that size, grass carp either really, so I just don't have a sense of what the silver is going to be like. Catching chub on the worms now, even with a smaller hook, so targeting the rough might be a little harder than I was anticipating. You could try red worm though. I haven't tried red worm yet. That actually might do it. But chub are liking my worm at the moment. These early morning chub. Alright, now we have caught all the big carp. No. We haven't seen a black carp here yet. But there's grass carp, so at least pretty likely that you could get a black carp here. But the fact that we've seen mirror and leather now, pretty interesting. I'd love to get just one burner on one of these rods, but with just the corn, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Now Blunty has a trophy white bream. He switched spots, or did he hit that at copper? Interesting. White bream is not on the trophy card, but it is in the lake. People have been catching pretty big ones on cream and raspberry corn. Bet he is still at copper. Good job, Blunty. Ooh. Okay. At least a little. At least got a little bit on the bones. Not a fighter, but he's also not a micro, so that's nice. That's common carp, okay. 35.81, we'll take it. Yeah, I hope this spot, or a spot like it, is still pretty active once we get our third carp setup finished. I just like how much XP we're getting here. All right. So, I don't know. We were here for just under an hour. $65.8. I want to buy that Fortuna carp rod outright, but we are getting close to being able to think about our first Norway trip. Santiago's first return to the sea, even though it's not permanent. Okay, that's not bad at all. How do you think we would do if we had 3 rigs and really went after it with corn? Could we hit 200 silver in an hour? That is not bad at all. Look at that leather carp, though. We got lucky on that one. Up to 951. We were up to 1,000, but I decided to purchase the slingshot because, you know, we need it. And we're going to need the other one, too. The one that can do pellets and boilies by the time we get to all 3 carp setups. All right. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.